What's up everybody, welcome back to That Reaction Though with another video. You already know what this video is going to be about. There's no explaining the comments that came through from my previous video, which I'm going to be leaving a link up here. My YouTube video was filled with so many comments that are made to depress or oppress. How did all these people get to my channel so quick? I wasn't excited about the comments because I'm not that big of a deal when it comes to my YouTube. I know I'm a slow growing channel. When I started reading through some of these comments, I realized that a lot of people were actually, Bai fans. And I think I'm going to avoid using Bai's name in respect of her because I realized that a lot of people misinterpret a lot of things. If you guys know the game Broken Telephone, you might know it in another name, depending on like your background and where you grew up. Broken Telephone is basically a game that people play. What happens is we get a message from a messenger, and a messenger sends their message through to the next person, and this message has to reach the last person and it has to be correct. If this message comes out wrong, then we know that there was some form of miscommunication or manipulation during the course of the game. Sometimes in the game, you do get people who are mischievous, and they hear the message, they know the message, but they choose to twist it just for the fun of it, just to create drama, just to feel in control of a situation. And so these people will purposefully manipulate the message and send it across. It's that feeling of, I've controlled the situation and now everyone is saying what I want them to say. We used to play it as kids and we didn't see nothing of it, but the truth is, as you grow older, these games actually teach you serious lessons. And the serious lesson here is the communication part. The people that chose to comment the way they did, to let you guys know that there has been a miscommunication somewhere, or someone just chose to manipulate something. Because as much as maybe some of you might have watched my video, I still don't think you get it. How do you know I hate this person? Like, let's look up the word hate. So it says here, hate, feel intense or passionate dislike for someone. Okay? It is intense and passionate. Hate is such a strong word. You can't just loosely use hate and accuse someone of hating something or someone without pure evidence. But now that we know who we're all talking about, we're not going to use her name vainly because it would just be disrespectful to her to even talk about you guys that made these comments. It's okay to point out that you don't like my opinion on a certain situation, but you don't have to go overboard. You don't have to be so dramatic. I am actually very thankful to the few people who actually tried to have my back. Even if you didn't defend me, but you were just defending the cause of the situation, trying to make people understand that this was not something that was meant for hate and that it was being misinterpreted. I appreciate your input. I also wish that you didn't have to involve yourself, because this is obviously going to come for you too. And for the few people that went out of their way to tell me I'm unsubscribing, it's like, okay, unsubscribe, okay, it's cool. Someone shared the link of my video onto Twitter and I was like, oh dang, this is some serious stuff. I'm guessing all these people are coming from Twitter and then just involving themselves into this small time video that I made. We all know the show is old, but why are you getting so touched though? I react to the demand, and so people asked me to react to this and I chose to react to it for them and I completed it. So this is a show where you prove who's better than the next, okay? And the proof is there. The proof is there. We have a whole pyramid scheme in the show. The best is at the top and the ones that aren't that great are at the bottom. Throughout the show, we had a consistency of Shin Xiaoting being number 1, being number 2. The numbers have been so consistent in such a way that when it came to the finale, the way it switched up really surprised me so much. For me, what I was expecting was the same kind of lineup. You know what I mean? I was expecting Shen Xiaoting probably first or Dion first. Firstly, I'm going to address that I am not a stan of anybody. I watched the show because it was on demand. Every girl brings a certain personality to the show, and it's just amazing how everyone was able to work together despite their differences, and their differences being their nationalities, their beliefs, the language barriers. It's just so amazing how they were able to work together and to help each other achieve certain levels in the show. My commentaries are not for a hateful kind of source. That's where you're misinterpreting. My commentaries are my opinions. My opinions according to the calculation of the show. What they show us is what they want us to talk about. Maybe you guys think you know the truth, like the in-depth truth behind the show. That's pretty cool. It would be nice if you shared with us the facts rather than coming to attack other people. Like you just woke up and chose violence, you know? It's like, oh, today I'm gonna show that reaction though. Today is the day. It's red day. And also you guys made me realize that the majority of you are all just children. And for you to be like a grown woman, I'm just like, what do you know about being grown? Coming to tell me a grown woman is talking about a minor. No, firstly, don't bring up minor because you're making it sound really weird. I comment according to the competition way. You guys think you know, but you don't know what you are truly talking about. So these are comments coming from the apparent fans or solo fans. I don't care what you guys call yourself. At the end of the day, you are not fans. You are evil people. Some of you went as far as being evil. Some of you went as far as just being a waste of space. Here's one comment saying, "Will always be famous. Cry about it." I will always be famous. I'm not gonna cry about it. I love every girl in that show, okay? No one said I does not deserve second place. I think everybody had facts that made sense, and that is why I agreed with them, and that was why I liked it. Next one, her supporters are toxic? When you are here liking comments, calling her names and such, wow, you people deserve hell. I still don't get it. I still don't get it. I don't get it, not because I don't understand what she's saying. I just don't get how this fits into the circumstance. It's like, we deserve hell. Like, we never said anything hateful about the girl at all. We never said anything hateful at all. We're just trying to talk about the calculations of the show. I think that's the misinterpretation, guys. The misinterpretation is that people think we're talking about each individual girl as if we are pinpointing them down and saying this girl's not supposed to be here. No, we were basically talking about the facts of the show. We're talking about the calculations of the show. And I think that's why you guys are misinterpreting that we're going after a person when we're actually going after the whole show, and how it just doesn't make sense according to how we've seen it. Maybe some people do have their own opinion, and they did say like, I don't want her to be there. Fine, they can say what they want to say, but that is not my point. Oh, there were some people actually like typing in Spanish, and I was like, whatever. The least you could do is just type in English if you really feel so strongly. I'm not gonna waste my time translating what you said. Skip you. Then the next one says, there are screenshots. Oh yes, this is the one. There are screenshots of you liking comments, bullying her. Because again, we're not going to mention her name in the show, because really, her name is not worth bringing up in a situation like this. This is like a shameful situation, you know. We can't even like bring up her name because this degrades her career in a sense where we have people like this talking on behalf of her, like, we're doing this for you. Have you ever seen those kind of psychopathic people who said, I did this for you? You know, like, if you ever watch those movies where someone like hurts someone, like they do something very terrible and they're like, but I did this for you. And it's like, no, I didn't ask you to do this for me. No, thanks, bye. This is how I see you guys. You literally think that you're doing this for the best cause, but you're not doing the right thing. A lot of people who don't know how to think for themselves will usually do something like this, because if anybody were to go through my video, anyone with sense would say no, no, you got the whole thing twisted. Yeah, sure, she probably did say something that might trigger you, but she definitely did not say what you're saying right now. You need money to buy a new this person's like, you need money to buy a new wig and pay your bills. That wig, to be honest, is pretty old. Oh, that was low of the low lows. You feel a certain way about this person, but why are you bringing out irrelevant information like you need money to buy a new wig and to pay your bills? How does this fit into this whole situation? That this is where it gets petty. This is where people are just being mean because they think they can. This one's like, the audacity of this person, the audacity of this person to hate on Bai. Oh, we said her name. To hate on her. I'm so done with people like you. You should have been done a long time ago. You know what I mean? Like, you should have just ignored the video and be like, oh, people will always be people. I think a lot of people who were commenting against these haters, you didn't have to get into the brawl, you know, because it only makes, like, you don't fight fire with fire like that, because it makes the flame bigger. I do appreciate your input, but like, please don't cause more trouble for me, please. This person says, this comment section is proof Bai fans are the most toxic and obsessive fans. It is proof. It's proof enough. I didn't call you toxic as if I had no knowledge. I said toxic, and I said not all of you, but the ones I've encountered are toxic, and you proved to me straight up that you are. It's already a year now and you're still talking about this. Yes, I know it's already been a year. There's a lot of shows that I've reacted to that are pretty old. I mean, come on now. I went through those comments that I liked. I remember reading a comment saying stuff like, I liked comments where they called the so-and-so person a horse or a horse lookalike. I was like, wait, what? Did I actually like that? Nobody called her a horse. There were a lot of people on here bringing down other girls. That made no sense to me at all. It's like, if you're gonna come out here defending someone, don't bring other people down. I was like, what do these other girls have to do with this? Why do you have to bring up that Chen Xiaoting can't sing? What is your point then? What point are you trying to make by defending the so-and-so person we're talking about? If you're going to down talk other people, you're going to say stuff like she's the only one people care about. Everyone else is useless around her. And I'm like, okay, I'm out of here. I love, not in a personal sense, because I don't know her like that. I don't love her personally, but I love her for everything she chooses to do. I love her for chasing her dreams, even when some people didn't believe in her. I love her for being brave enough to stand up for herself when so many people chose to say some mean things about her. It's so sad how a show like this can divide so many people. Even when it's so old, some people still carry such sour, fresh feelings about it, and they're like, get over it. You guys are the ones who actually need to get over it, because you're still so sour that you're able to come out here and say petty things. Do you really think we don't have lives? I have a life. I love it. I think most of you didn't even watch the video or barely watch the video. Someone else was like, just in the few seconds of the video, I knew you were I knew you were full of hate. I was like, what is wrong with you people? Like, why can you not, like, I think you are the ones who need lives. There was no proof that there is any hate in my video, except for the fact that I had an opinion. Like, some of you are so rude. Like, you were using like some heavy cuss words in my comment section. And it's like, oh my gosh, you are the haters. You are the guys who were that passionate about this stuff. Even when there was no hate shown in the video. I don't know who told you that I liked comments where someone was calling her names. Nobody called her names. There was a section, I remember, because I remember trying to look up this whole horse situation, and secondly, I don't even understand where that term came from. But it was actually one of your own haters that brought up that term. My own subscribers did not bring up that term. I remember clearly because I went through those comments that I responded to. Nobody called so and so these hateful names. And you seeing me liking the comment from a person who said something, and you're associating my like with like the sub comments that were under there, not cool, guys. Something's not right with you. How does it feel to know so and so is the only relevant member in that group? Isn't that so rude? Then you get to those places where people are like, you have your own opinion, but because you liked this comment, that is why I'm coming after you. And I'm like, I never liked any comments. I wouldn't like a comment bringing someone down like that. You know, I even went through it and I made sure that it was not something that I did. I didn't. I'm not going to delete my video. I think I'm going to keep it up. I'm going to keep it up for proof of the very disgusting toxicity that I have experienced today. And it has to be proof to everyone that you guys are very toxic. They have to see it. I want it to stay up. I wouldn't take that show personally, but it looks like you guys do. You take it very personally to the point where you're choosing to threaten little old me's life and praying for my destruction. And it's like, wow, you're even bringing higher power into the situation. How more insulting can you get? I'm gonna just keep doing me, and I'm gonna keep entertaining my subscribers. And if you're gonna try to look for trouble in everything I say, go ahead. I don't really care, because we're not a hateful space here. Seeing how you guys came for my subscribers, seeing how you guys came for other K-pop stars who work just as hard, and saying some really mean stuff about them, that's when I was like, no, I'm not going to let this slide. I am going to address it. You definitely didn't defend anybody. There's a reason why a lot of K-pop stars are afraid of people like you. They're afraid of people like you because you say these kind of things. There's K-pop stars who have anxiety when a fan is even this close to them. Like, you're not defending anyone. You're just hurting people even more. The best way to deal with something is to not fuel it. Is to just be mature about it. If you feel a certain way about what I've said, you don't have to fuel up a situation and make up your own story just to make me look bad, because I feel like that's what you try to do. You try to make me look bad and make me look like something I was not, and you made me appear to say something I did not. Well, you need to understand, people will like you, people will not like you, but life goes on. And if you don't keep moving, trust me, you're just going to be in a whole hellhole of a life, just living life with the rest of these people who commented down there. I don't have time, but I did have time to make this video. Thanks so much for watching.